It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri, it's Friday.
Whoop, whoop.
We get a cheer over there, Senator?
Hey, it's Friday. And you know, it's a beautiful morning up here. I'm from North Arkansas originally.
Yeah.
I love this 60s in the morning. It's
Oh,
good.
beautiful. And so it's Friday, September 27, 2019 at 7 a.m. And welcome Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis, and our guest today, Senator Jason Rapert of District 35. And it's so good to have you here.
It's good to be here with you and looking forward to the morning.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to have a breakfast for him downtown at Old Time Restaurant just after the show. So come down and say hello, pay your respects to the senator. And I'm thrilled to have you here. My goodness.
Good to be here.
Wow. Down on the Corner is brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town with 3 locations to serve you. As you heard in the introduction, we have Balmer Boulevard, Baxter Regional Lobby, and then, of course, we have 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. The best coffee in town is Brood Awakening. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his staff do a fantastic job. In fact, I went out by 62 East Plaza and picked up one of their mochas yesterday. I thought, I haven't had one of those in about 6 months, and it was really good.
I don't know what was going on yesterday. I drove by after the game when we got back, and nobody was anywhere near to be seen.
It was like 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder why.
It may have been the one time I needed to pull in there.
And the other day when I went and got more coffee for the studio, it was they were lined up pretty good over here at 62 East Plaza, and so I thought, well, we'll just come back later and let them get caught up.
They're usually always lined up,
Brood
but they can get
Coffee.
you through. So
Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations, so pick one and enjoy the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. And of course, Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring you morning prayer each and every day. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes, emergency situation, the passing of a loved one after an illness, perhaps whatever the situation may be. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, 29 in the state to serve you, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Here in Mountain Home, talk to Charlotte, Bruce, Chris, Brad. Anybody there can help you. Very professional, caring, loving, and they know what to do. So let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, today we have some disturbing subjects, of course, but overall, I pray that the Spirit of God will prevail. I pray you bless Senator Rapert's work, bring awareness to the people of the dangers of not obeying God and His commands. Lord, your laws are our rules of obedience. We would be in a much better shape in our country if we'd follow them. Lord, I pray you heal our country, and that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring you morning prayer each and every day. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes.
and now
Brace yourself.
I don't know after yelling yesterday at the game.
Do I need to get the duck?
That'll work.
I need the
The
duck.
weather.
Brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, for all your real estate needs. Check out the website, retiretoarkansas.net. You can call them at 870-405-0793. At the website, we get to look at the beautiful White River. How's that for a shot, Senator? Look at that screen right there.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful this morning.
That's the White River. You're looking from Marion County into Baxter County. The 62-412 bridge will be at the left side of your screen. On the right side of the screen, the middle part is the horizon, of course, be Mountain Home area. You're looking into the city of Cotter. Wonderful folks down there, and wish you all a happy Friday. The clearing right there is the baseball field and the little park down there by Big Springs in Cotter, Arkansas. The live shot of the White River brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs, buying, selling, needs some property both in Arkansas and Missouri, from Marshall to Mountain View to Mountain Home to Zazoni, Missouri, Gainesville, wherever it may be. Give the Z Team a call, 870-405-0793, retiretoarkansas.net. The award-winning Z Team. And I tell you what, they can help you out with just about anything. And very professional. And check out all the awards. I mean, Bob and Linda, they do so well in serving their clients. Morning weather brought to you by the Z Team. Right now we've got 64 degrees in Mountain Home, 63 at Flippin, 66 at Harrison, 63 at Yellville, 65 at Salem, Arkansas, 64 at Calico Rock, Mountain View, Arkansas checks in at 64. The same in St. Louis. Wow. 62 at Poplar Bluff. West Plains at 65, 64 in Branson, and 43 in Watford City, North Dakota, where I have some family up there working right now. And we're trying out this new radar this morning, and I really like it. It's nice and clear. Well, I've got to refresh it already.
Doug, did you see the snowstorm coming into Montana?
Yes, I did. Isn't
Like
that
40-something inches coming in up there.
Yes, I sure did. Let's back that up and we'll take a look. I think it's moved down now into Wyoming. It's down around just northwest of Casper, Wyoming. But yeah, they were getting a lot of snow up there. I'm going to recenter that. Nothing going on in the state of Arkansas. We've got some shower activity in northeast Missouri, southeast Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and of course, Senator said Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho getting some snow already. Man, there was a lot of snow up there. My goodness. And so around the region, we'll zoom in a little bit and check Arkansas, see if there's any spotted showers. Looks like we're all clear. Highway 62, 412 east and west, Highway 65 north, south, Little Rock, Branson, 67, 167 going from Little Rock to Batesville area, Jonesboro and Poplar Bluff. Interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, 555 in Arkansas clear at this time. We'll move up to Missouri real quick. We have a few showers in northern Missouri around Kirksville. We'll zoom in around the St. Louis area. A little bit of a shower activity around Cape Girardeau on the Mississippi River. Looking at I-70, Jefferson City coming in from, let's say Columbia, Jeff City into St. Louis, then east, Vandalia, Effingham, Illinois. East St. Louis, Illinois, I-64 east to Mount Vernon in good shape. Then you got I-55 coming in. A little bit of a shower right here at the Mississippi River, around just north of Cape Girardeau there. And let's see, we'll move over here and take a look at Kansas City, just north of I-70. We have some showers around Moberly, Missouri. A little bit showing up at Rolla, St. Robert, Sherrill, places like that in the state of Missouri. And so southwest Missouri, Neosho, Joplin, Springfield, clear at this time on I-44 all the way back to, all the way back into Tulsa, Oklahoma. Not much on the forecast map. It looks like we have, we're going to have some wind, I think, today. And it looks like it's most prevalent in southeast Missouri and southern Illinois. From Cairo, Illinois, Paducah, Kentucky, perhaps to Poplar Bluff, Missouri, down to Dexter and into the Kennett, Missouri area. We got some fog in Tennessee. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty nice day, it looks like. 7-day forecast today, patchy fog, high of 87. There's your humidity right there, Senator. You can feel it.
I know it. I'm ready for that to go.
Me too. Me too. High of 87 today, low of 68. Tomorrow, 20% chance of showers here in the northern part of the state. High of 86, low of 69 Saturday night, Sunday. Mostly sunny, high of 90. Low of 69 Sunday night. And then Monday, high of 88, 90 on Tuesday. Allergy sufferers. 5.6 medium today. Not bad. Ragweed and chennapods only. Just two culprits out there.
Chennapods.
Those chennapods.
It's dropping down to 2.4 tomorrow, though. Chennapods get you every time.
They'll get you every time. And I'm surprised at the drought monitor. It has increased even after the shower activity. This came out yesterday about 8 a.m. Eastern time, so it'll be about 7 o'clock here yesterday. So now the southwest part of Arkansas, just through the South Arkansas River, we've got a D0 abnormally dry, and then we have a D1 moderate drought. But your severe drought will be in we've got Miller County, and we have Columbia County, and it looks like Union County in Arkansas, and it's really dry over here in Mississippi County. So we do have some need for some shower activity here in the state of Arkansas. And I would think with some of the showers that went through that this would be alleviated a little bit, but it's actually enhanced more than what it was a week ago. So we'll keep an eye on that. State of Missouri, the same thing. They're enhanced a little bit more. We do have a little bit of drought situation in Taney County and just to our north in Ozark County. That corny north of Ozark is Douglas, and then we have Christian County there. Southeast Missouri and the Boot Hill, apparently they finally dried out. They have abnormally dry situations. That's basically all the way up to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Not a good thing. Anyway, morning weather is brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zador, for all your real estate needs. Take another look at the White River.
Okay.
That's a pretty shot.
Sometimes
we have so much fog that's totally engulfed, right. And then you have clear sky above with the sunlight. It's a gorgeous shot.
Well, that's beautiful. You know, my farm is on the Arkansas River just south of Toadsuck, Arkansas.
Really?
Is this the first time Toadsuck has been mentioned on your program? I don't know if you've ever done that yet or not.
I've been through Toad Suck quite a few times, but I don't know that it's ever been mentioned here. Yeah.
You know, my district is Conway, but right there at Toad Suck is, of course, the Arkansas River, where we had tremendous flooding. But often, like you say, when I go over the bridge in the morning there, it'll have a nice covering of fog there over that river. It's a beautiful sight in the morning.
From Faulkner to Perry County?
Faulkner to Perry County. It's just literally right there on the edge of Conway.
I remember when there was a ferry there.
That's right. It was replaced
in
the 60s.
Toad Suck Ferry now is up at Peel.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
They still got signed, Toad Suck Ferry.
We thought we might need it after the latest flooding incident that we had going on.
And I'll tell you how far back we go. My Uncle Doug was driving my dad's car, and it was a 1960 Dodge.
Oh, wow.
And he come off that ferry and hung the bumper, and there's a little hook on the bumper where he drug.
You sounded just like your Uncle Doug right then.
Really?
When you said that. You know, I know Doug and Phyllis, and I don't know if they watch your program, but they're wonderful people, and that makes me comfortable being here with you.
There you go. All right, morning weather is brought to you by the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. For all your real estate needs, 870-405-0793. And we have Community Calendar brought to you by Old Time Restaurant. Once again, we're going to be down at Old Time right after the show for breakfast with the Senator. Come on down and say hello. And love to have you all come down and visit with us.
Breakfast today. It's Friday. It's steak day.
I thought so.
You get a marinated sirloin steak you can cut with a butter knife, eggs, hash browns, biscuit, and gravy or toast, all for only $8.88. Or for lunch, we got one of your favorites, the open-faced turkey breast today. Comes with two sides, roll of cornbread, only $6.88. You can't beat it. Go in, have a good time. It's all about just chilling and
having fun.
Yeah, forgetting about all your worries. Go in, relax, have a good time. Grab you a cup of coffee, slice of pie, hang out with some friends. That's what it's all about.
Old Time Restaurant on the Square. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Monday through Friday, 7 to 2. Saturday till 11. And we have the Twin Lakes Base United States Submarine Veterans meets tomorrow from 8 to 5. Meet fourth Saturday each month at Arena Sports Bar. Starts at 12 o'clock and lasts for an hour. They got it from 8 to 5 here, but it says they have lunch at 11, meeting at 12. Then we have the Celebrate Lakeview Festival. That's all day long. Starts at 10 o'clock, Lakeview Park. Going to be a lot of fun out there. They're expecting several thousand people. Now, I've spoken at Rotary and Bull Shoals Lakeview, and they're gearing up for this, and they're excited. The Celebrate Lakeview Festival tomorrow from 10 to 4. Going to be a lot of fun. Everybody's invited, and they do a great job there. Scooter?
We had a football game last night. 9th grade went to Marion and actually pulled out the win.
Congrats.
18-14, and it was a hard fought. One of the best games. I'm so glad I went out there. Didn't get to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning after coming back, but it was one of the best games I've seen them play all season, and they played their hearts out. I'm very, very proud of every single person on that team.
For XL7.
Football, we are broadcasting Yellville tonight. They are playing Marshall. So it'll be Yellville versus Marshall. And we'll be broadcasting it live right here on XL7 TV. So
pick it up on 3 Live. We've got Hometown TV, XL7 down on the corner page to broadcast that on Facebook too. So be sure to tune into that. All right. Hey, we finished a little bit early. That's great. We'll get a few more minutes.
How did that happen?
I don't know. There's no weather to talk about. It was clear in Arkansas. Coming up, Senator Jason Rapert. I'll tell you what, you're going to appreciate what he has to say, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
It takes the right gear to survive out here. There she is, Ferris. It's the best gear around. Strong as an ox, safe as houses. Out back, there's one powerful beast. Awesome. Four-wheel suspension, handles whatever Mother Nature throws at you. Designed to take the hard out of hard work and deliver all the power you could need. So if you want to tackle the great outdoors, get yourself a Ferris.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right products.
I was involved in a wreck on the interstate. A friend and I was rear-ended by a drunk driver, and I was in excruciating pain. I started the chiropractor care along with the massage therapy, and it has totally transformed my world. With God's help and the help of them, I have totally got my life back together, and I'm free of pain medicine, and I'm so grateful that I am where I need to be today.
Are you ready for some football? Hometown TV is back with live football and the game of the week. Friday night, area high school football with announcer Bob Rechtenwald, bringing you the best in play-by-play. Visit hometowntv.net for schedule and show times. Plus, watch instant replay live from your mobile device, whether at the game or not, right here on K26 and XL7.
Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Why would I recommend?
(7:18), and I'm thrilled to announce Senator Jason Rapert, District 35, and appreciate your work and your stand on Christian values and everything. And I mean, go get him, Senator.
Thank you.
And hopefully that title is going to change to Lieutenant Governor.
Well, I do appreciate that. That's a little ways off, but you know, I've served in the Senate since 2010. I actually was elected in 2010, the first Republican since the Civil War at that time to win, and of course. Been through 4 elections, and it's time for a change, so I'm looking forward to cranking that race up next year, and really had a lot of support already come in, so I appreciate you saying that.
Will that be for 2022?
Be for 2022, so I will have finished 12 years in the Arkansas Senate when we get to that point.
Wow.
And looking forward to it. You know, we're going to have a governor's race that year, and I'm looking forward to continuing the great reforms. We've literally passed, Doug, the largest income tax and corporate sales tax packages in the history of the state over the past 10 years. And by the way, we have the lowest unemployment we've ever had.
Yep.
We've not had to cut any critical services. And it's always a good thing to cut taxes and still have a growing economy, and Arkansas has been fortunate with that. Plus a surplus, and the only way that was possible is that for the first time in 140 years we had a Republican governor with a Republican legislature, and I've enjoyed being a part of those great reforms.
So how do you present this to the Democrat Party when you say, look, we cut taxes, we cut the corporate taxes, and we got a surplus? Where's their argument? Well, I'm sure they're going to find one somewhere.
You know, we've got so much to talk about today. I don't want to get you too far off, and I know the direction you want to go. But look, for 138 years, we had a Democrat legislature with a welfare mentality. Mm-hmm. And that's the way they went about it. But now that you've got leadership that has true business experience. People that have been out that's working, creating jobs, it's made a difference. And I want to tell you something else that we've been able to do. It was the Republican legislature, with Governor Beebe still as a Democrat, that passed the final bill to remove the sales tax on groceries in our state. I led that in the Senate, which was very interesting. They called it the unholy alliance between, John Brummett said that, between Mike Beebe and myself. So I carried that, and I'm proud of it because it was a trigger bill. And so January the 1st of this year, the last 1.5-cent sales tax on groceries was taken off. $65 million extra a year in the pockets of every Arkansan around this state. That'll be $650 million over the next 10 years, and I'm proud that we've been able to do it. And it was a Republican legislature that was able to do that.
Did John Brummett have anything good to say about it?
John has trouble saying it. In fact, I will say, I hate that I even brought him up this morning, you know, because he's always taking jabs at me. He's jabbed at me. But one of the funniest things he's ever said, he was trying to figure me out early on. Of course, you know I'm a fiddle player.
Yeah.
Well, he said, it's kind of like Ricky Skaggs and Jimmy Swaggart had a baby and dropped him off at the Perry County line. That's what he said. So I'll have to admit that's a lot of fun. Of course, Ricky Skaggs came down and played a show with me in 2014 for our re-election, and so it was very interesting. You know, John has trouble, but you know, he actually gave me some good positive remarks about running for lieutenant governor. He doesn't like the fact that Arkansas is a great God-fearing conservative state, but he knows that those people are the ones that have supported me and stood with me as I've taken stands. And so we'll see what the future holds.
Speaking of taking a stand, boy, have you taken a stand. And I'm going to let you start with part one, and we've got videos lined up and any pictures here, but where can we start with this?
Well, in terms, I know when you asked me to come up and be here with you today, you wanted me to talk a little bit about what's going on, I think really from a spiritual perspective in the country. And of course, I'm just like you. If you had run for the legislature, you probably would have taken the very same stands that I've taken because I've heard from you. And so, you know, I really believe that in the country right now, and this is a good way to intro to the comments on the specifics, in this nation right now, we continue to have national debt that is growing astronomically. And the last time I looked at it, which was yesterday, it was $22 trillion and change. And what's happening, Doug, is that whether it's been Republicans in leadership or Democrats in leadership, they have forgotten the importance of trying to tend to those issues. And here's what I believe is happening. You know this. Our politics has been steered to talk mostly about pocketbook issues.
Right.
They try to stay out of what they call the social issues or the spiritual issues. But the more that they focused on the financial issues, the worse it's become. And here's what I would say to people that are watching today, and what I've been saying when I speak in churches all over the country and speak at Republican meetings all over the state, and that is that when the heart of America gets right, a lot of these issues will correct themselves.
Yes.
And what's happening is that we have neglected, they've tried to run God out of the public square completely. And this has not been accidental. It started in 1962 when they came after prayer in school.
Madeline Murray O'Hare.
That's right. And what did the churches do? They didn't do enough.
No.
So 1963 they came back and they went after the Bible. You've got a Bible sitting right here on the desk with us this morning. They said, you know what? It's dangerous for a teacher to get up and read, from the Beatitudes to our children. That might corrupt them in some way. It might influence them in some way. So they took that out. And then they came in 1973 and they made a decision. Now, by the way, all of these decisions are happening in the federal court. They took prayer out. They took the Bible out. In 1973, then they said it's okay to kill a little unborn child in a mother's womb. And by the way, we've now taken over 60 million innocent little children through abortion in this nation. Don't even stand up in front of me and talk about how horrible World War II was with the Nazis and killing 6 million Jews, 12 million killed altogether. by the Nazi regime, and then you're going to say America is somehow superior when you've taken 60 million? The people that have been in charge of these issues in the country for the last 40 or 50 years, they're running God out, and what's happening is they actually got to the point that they would say a little innocent baby does not need to be saved. When in Arkansas, we'll put you in jail for taking the life of a little kitten or a little puppy. But you can go down next week and you can kill that little baby in a mother's womb. So they did that in 1973. 1980s, they've got a picture of the Ten Commandments. I think you've got here the Arkansas Ten Commandments. They went after the Ten Commandments in public schools and said, you know what, it's not good to have the Ten Commandments on the wall because little Johnny might read that and be influenced by it. Well, you know what, Doug, or Dale, excuse me, calling your uncle's name.
That's fine.
Dale, when kids are killing kids in public schools in America, I think thou shalt not kill might be a good thing to have up on the wall.
I agree.
And then they went after that. It wasn't that. Then they went after, you mentioned football games. They went after somebody saying a prayer at a football game. Went after somebody having a baccalaureate service. And then 2015, guess what they did? They went after marriage. Traditional marriage between a man and woman. And what ties all of these issues together? What ties it together is every single one of those issues was a direct attack on Christianity and God's Word and the underpinnings of Judeo-Christian principles. Yep. That's what they were trying to do. And so here's my point. We have been focusing on, though they're important issues, and I am absolutely unhappy that I managed money for a living before I got into politics. I'm unhappy with what's happening with the national debt. They're not paying attention to it, but the real root of the problem is Psalms 33:12 says, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." In America today, our federal court system, our political leadership that brought us here over the past 57 years has absolutely attacked the Word of God and attacked the things of God in this nation.
Wow.
And until we turn that around, we will never take care of our national debt. We will never stop the opioid addictions in our nation. We will never be able to restore marriage and family as long as they do that. And I'm taking a stand, as you know, with the National Association of Christian Lawmakers to say we need godly leaders to be elected to serve in offices, because without godly leaders, you don't have a godly nation. And it is critical that we restore that. As you can tell, I've got a lot to say about this. And I think it's important because we've lost common sense.
Yeah.
We've lost common sense. In fact, our forefathers, I brought some things I'm going to show you today, but our forefathers in the Continental Congress, when they were drafting the early documents of the nation, Dale, they say that one of the first things they did when they called them together in that first Continental Congress, they read chapter 35 from Psalms, and they prayed. They said it lasted for hours. And our forefathers, they record what happened in that meeting. They were on their knees praying, and they prayed audibly amongst each other. And even Ben Franklin, when they knew the Articles, we had won the Revolutionary War, they're debating the Articles of Confederation because they're not working out, and they start talking about the Constitution. They brought that convention together. They reached a stalemate, and Ben Franklin, the doctor, the inventor, the statesman, the old man in the room, he stood up and he said, "Wait, we've missed something. We have not called on God to give us wisdom." And I'm not going to be able to quote him verbatim this morning, but paraphrasing, he said, "I think it's right and fitting that we open up every morning with prayer and asking God for his help." It was after Ben Franklin took that decision that they reached a consensus that put in place the United States Constitution, which is now considered, and even then was considered, the most fabulous working government document that man had ever known. And it today is the longest lasting republic in the history of the world. And I will tell you this, the only reason America has survived, the only reason we were successful against the greatest empire in the world at the time, Great Britain and England, is because we called upon God for his help, and he helped us.
Before we go to break, I got one thing I want to ask you. Have you read Ecclesiastes 10:2?
Been a while. Read it for me.
A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left.
Well, you could make a very political statement out of that, couldn't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Time for a break. More with the Senator right after this.
I do got to make a quick report because I messed up earlier on the football game. We are broadcasting Yellville tonight, but it is against Melbourne, not Marshall. So I had that messed up. I do apologize. You can tune in here. It'll be Yellville versus Melbourne. So thought I'd get that corrected for the folks watching. We will be right back.
Why would I recommend Hospice the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either a terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands, including Carhartt, Vera Bradley, Urbane, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Skechers, Nursemates, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractables, compression socks, paramedic VDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, and minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
(734) Senator Jason Rapert's here, Senate District 35, and let's just keep the ball rolling. I'm enjoying every minute of this. So let's talk about the flag. Want to talk about the flag?
Well, I do, and before I get into that flag, I want to give you something.
All right.
I learned a long time ago when I'm coming to somebody's place, I want to give them a gift, and I'm going to hold this up. I don't know if everybody can see it real clear, but it's obvious. This is the national motto, "In God We Trust." And by the way, you remember what year it was adopted officially? I'm putting him on the spot. We didn't prep for this.
1954?
1956. Oh. Hey, you were close by putting you on the spot so early, but under Eisenhower.
So
now,
under Eisenhower.
The first time it appeared on coinage was 1862.
Really?
1862.
Really?
There was a pastor in the country. The Civil War is happening. I'm going to talk about that in a minute on this book that I'm going to share with you too. But in 1862, they wrote and they said, with all that's going on in the nation, I think it would be right and proper, because they were crying out for trust in God. They put it on coinage, and then ultimately it became our national motto officially. And I wanted to share this with you because in 2017, I believe it was, Representative Jim Dotson over in Northwest Arkansas passed Act 911, the National Motto in God We Trust Act here in Arkansas. And here's what it says. If somebody takes one of these posters of the national motto and goes to any public school or goes to a public building in Arkansas and gives them the national motto, they shall put it up in every classroom.
Good.
That's a key word. And so, of course, the American History and Heritage Foundation, I'm president and founder of that. We put up the Ten Commandments Monument, which there's a battle going on with that right now. But they came to us and we said, sure, we'll put these together. So for 50 cents, Dale, I keep wanting to call you Doug now. Dale, for 50 cents, we do this 11 by 17, and then Hobby Lobby gives us these frames for $1.50. They're usually $7.
Yeah.
We've now done, it's just over 22,000 of these national mottos in schools all over Arkansas, and we've now done them in Louisiana and Alabama. In fact, the governor of Alabama, when she signed their National Motto Act, was holding the poster I put together for him with an Alabama flag down here. And so I wanted to give you this
Thank you.
on behalf of the American History and Heritage Foundation, and thank you for all you do for conservatism as well as Christian values in our state. So
let's sit it right there. Well, what's a good spot? That may get the glare on the lights.
It could break on you, but
I got to be real careful. I'll set it down here for now. We'll hang it up here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, you told me you wanted me to talk about the flag, so me and you's going to have to help each other here just a little bit.
Do we need to stand up to do this?
I don't know if he can get a shot of that, but let's do that real quick, and we'll let them see it, and then we'll sit back down. But this is the, I don't know if they can still hear us very good or not. Yeah. But this is the Washington Cruiser flag. That's the official name of the flag. And it's got a pine tree of liberty on it, and then this phrase from John Locke, an appeal to heaven, on there. And so we'll let us sit back down. I wanted to bring that flag for you, and he may have a copy that he can show people while we're talking, but I wanted to bring this and let people see it today because 90% of the functions where I'm asked to speak, whether it be at a church or whether it be at a political function, I'll often bring that flag out and I just ask, who has seen the flag and can tell me what the flag is? Typically 90 to 95% of the people have never say that they've acknowledged seeing the flag. And so I've begun to talk about it because it's important, because this is part of the problem in America. We have forgotten our history. We've definitely forgotten our Judeo-Christian history and heritage. And this flag was actually the first flag that George Washington fought under.
Really?
He went to the Continental Congress and basically made this argument. We're getting attacked. They're shutting down our ports. We can't get any naval shipments in. We've got to raise a navy. And he went and asked Continental Congress to give them a navy. And they said, we don't have the money. So he and private individuals bought 6 schooners. You can look this up. They bought those schooners, and they needed a flag because when you're shooting out there on the ocean and the smoke's flying, you'll shoot your own people if you don't have something to recognize each other. So they used the white flag, the pine tree of liberty, which has some interesting meanings. One is the Iroquois used to bury the hatchet, you remember that phrase, and make peace. They'd bury it at the base of a pine tree like that. And then also King George passed the Broad Axe Act to take those pine trees for 25 miles inland from the Patriots. Well, obviously, that engendered a little bit of unspoken issues for them. When they saw that pine tree, they knew that was part of a taking. And the appeal to heaven, and this is where the Freedom from Religion Foundation and the atheists really don't like me, because they think this is just a reference to heaven, spiritual matters. But they forget that that phrase actually came from John Locke, who was one of the most quoted men by our founding fathers besides quoting the Bible itself.
Wow.
And what he said is, when you've exhausted all appeals to human authority, to a king, or to a parliament, you've got nothing further left but an appeal to heaven. And in this country, the first flag that George Washington fought under has been stripped away from virtually every history book and any mention of it in this country. Our kids don't know that. Why do they strip it away? Is because they're intimidated, because they actually had a phrase and actually gave reference to the fact that the founding fathers, when they made their appeal, when they wrote the Declaration of Independence, 1776, they mentioned God 4 times in that document. They said we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. They then called him divine providence. They called him the supreme judge of the world, and they called him nature's God. And they said, we've got rights that God gave us, that no man gave us, and no man can take away. And this was the underpinning, and this underpins what I've stated before. This nation was birthed out of a contract stating that we have the right to stand up and be free because God has given us life, liberty, and the right to pursue happiness, and no man can take that away.
Yeah.
And we have forgotten this, and it's gotten to the point when you do that, when you make that decision in any country, that realigns things. When you actually have right now a Democrat Party which literally passed a resolution the other day chastising Christians and upholding atheists in the country. These are people that say they get to say what Dale Hoffman's rights are, and you don't have anything other than what we say you have. And you see that happening with their policies around the country.
Exactly.
And so my personal opinion is we've got history that shows us that those founding fathers, when they fought and died to set this country free to begin with, they knew that they had a higher power, and that higher power is what equipped them to be better. In fact, I'm glad the time's working out that we can do this. I brought something else to illustrate for people, and I hope that you will go out and try to get it. Now, the problem is this book has not been in print for over 100 years. This book that I'm holding for you today, and you see on your screen, was actually finished in 1864
Really?
by Benjamin F. Morris. Now, let me take you back. He wrote this book. It's called The Christian Life and Character of the Civil Institutions of the United States. Benjamin Morris wrote this thing over a decade. His father was a U.S. Senator, and he moved to Washington, D.C., and you understand the turmoil in America at the time. And he was fearful that this nation was going to split apart, and ultimately the Civil War started. And what he said, and I can imagine in his mind, I'm going to record everything I can about this great country we had and we have, because if it disintegrates, it'll be lost to history. And he wrote this. They call it the magnum opus. In fact, many of you may know of David Barton with Wall Builders. He's the David Barton of the 1860s. He knew, I've got to record what all this history has been. In fact, David Barton and I talked about this book,
Really?
and he used this as one of his early source documents. And this is what it says in the front, and I wanted people to know about the book. By the way, the National Association of Christian Lawmakers is negotiating a special printing of this, because the American Vision, where I got this, it's no longer being printed right now. And so we're negotiating a special printing for anybody that wants to be a member and support of the National Association of Christian Lawmakers, which you can go to christianlawmakers.com to look up about that. But we're going to put a special edition of this together. Now here's just a little taste of this. This is the foreword.
Okay.
It says, Reverend Morris wrote The Christian Life and Character of the Civil Institution of the United States. He could not be more pertinent to present-day American life. The little-known information that it contains is just as true today as it was in 1864, and is far more needed than it was in the mid-19th century. Moreover, American Christians have long neglected the heritage that God has given us through our Christian forefathers, so the vast majority of American Christians are ignorant of the Christian character of our civil government institutions. Furthermore, there's been a long-standing effort of anti-Christian scholars and propagandists to de-Christianize American civil government, law, and life. Largely because of their ignorance, many Christians have been misled by the disinformation generated by anti-Christian writers who have obscured or denied the Christian nature of our heritage of civil government and law. That heritage was not perfect, but it was superior to the heritage of any other people on earth, and both Christians and non-Christians benefited immeasurably from our God-given heritage of Christian influence on civil government and law in America. Hence, the interesting information presented by Reverend Morris is a must-read for Christians and non-Christians alike. Wow. Now, that's a mouthful, and that's just the first page. This thing is well over 1,000 pages.
Wow.
And I want to tell you, when they began attacking me for the Ten Commandments Monument, one of the first programs I was ever on in debate with the American Humanists, which, by the way, they're suing us now, I pulled this book out and I said, "Sir, have you ever read this?" He didn't even know about the book. I said, "You go read it and you study it and you come back when you actually know more about the history of the country." Because in this country today, we have a well-recorded history of influence, of a recognition of the divine. People say, well, separation of church and state. Look, Congress is not trying to create a state church.
No.
We simply recognize we need to be thankful for the blessings that God has given us. And you know what else it says in the Bible you quoted this morning? It says, the people rejoice when the righteous rule, but sin is a reproach to any people.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. You look at Washington, D.C. today with all of the trouble going on. Look at the fighting and fussing, not even taking care of the people's business, because they're literally trying to take each other out. That's not what we elected them to do.
No.
And what we need in this country, I think out of 300 million people, I can find 535 men and women to run for the U.S. Senate and Congress that will stand up and tell you the history of this country, will stand up and tell you there is a right and a wrong, will stand up and tell you that we're not going to allow people that want to tear this nation down to run roughshod over everybody in the country. They love me using that word. They like to use it against me a lot. But you know what? I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we let people that don't like America get dressed up in black with masks like Antifa and take bricks and bats on colleges and universities around this country and go in Portland, Oregon and take over streets and beat up elderly people just because they support Donald Trump? It's time for this mess to stop in America. And I believe I can find 535 people that could run for those offices. And in my offices, in the state legislatures, there's 7,383 of us around the country. I think out of 300 million, I think we can muster enough to do that. And so we're putting together the National Association of Christian Lawmakers. They tell me it's the first time in history that had been done. And we'll talk more about that when we come back.
Take a break.
Quick break. Be right back.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Sure, all mowers cut grass, but only a Ferris mower with suspension technology can provide you with increased productivity, quality of cut, durability, and comfort. The caster wheels and cutting deck are connected to the frame beneath the suspension. This lets the deck follow the wheels as they move up and down in relation to the ground contours. Maintaining the distance between the deck and the ground results in a beautiful, consistent cut. Visit your local Ferris dealer to experience the difference suspension makes.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
$7:51, more with Senator Jason Rapert, District 35.
Well, thanks for having me this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure. Man, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
We still have this, I don't know, that video.
This is probably, that'd be a good place, and we'll talk about some of the current battles. I guess I could say what this is. First of all, this will be a little shocking this early in the morning for some people. But as you know, the Satanic Temple has taken a direct target on the state of Arkansas because we're honoring the historical and moral foundation of law with the Ten Commandments. And they made a film called Hail Satan. Earlier this year, I got a notice from the Sundance Film Festival that this documentary had been played at the Sundance Film Festival, and Magnolia Pictures had bought this documentary for $10 million, and they've now distributed it across the country, and it's even available through streaming now. And they released it in theaters. Well, the reason I got a notice on it was because they said the big villain in the film is State Senator Jason Rapert. I thought, wait a minute, I didn't know I was in a film, or he didn't give any permission for a film. And herein lies the trailer for the film, and this will allow me to begin to talk to you about what the people of Arkansas are actually fighting.
Okay, here we go.
It's a beautiful day here at the state capitol. Great day to be a Satanist. I believe it, and I'm very excited about it. We're not what you think we are.
Satanic Temple was an idea between a handful of people directly confronting authority.
This makes life fun.
State officials have put up a Ten Commandments monument on government property. Satanists are demanding equal rights.
I am a tax-paying member of Arkansas, and I don't want that there.
They just want to irritate.
The Satanic Temple says you also need to put up our monument to Satanism.
As a Satanist, I believe that confronting injustice is an expression of one's satanic faith.
You see Christian theocracy just creeping itself into our government, and it is our duty to stand up to this.
We want people to evaluate the United States being a Christian nation. It's not. We are supposed to be a nation that doesn't allow the government to dictate what is appropriate religious expression.
Satanists sue Missouri.
If we're being sued by the Satanic Temple,
we gotta be doing something right.
It's our goal to shut down their agenda, which is to bring death and destruction.
You guys are horrible people.
Is this how everyone that's different is treated?
It is out of not only Satanism, but patriotism that I am motivated.
Satanism is looking out for the other, because we are the other.
I am following a code of ethics, having fellowship with brethren. Why can't that be a religion?
We do indeed invoke Satan.
We have gone from 3 people to 50,000.
There's no doubt that this is my life's work.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Kind of makes you sick.
Well, that's what a lot of people say, and that trailer, of course, when you watch the program, nearly a third of that movie is actually about Arkansas and taking a direct hit at me. And I want to tell you something. When I got into this thing and got into politics, I simply said what I believed in. And I've tried to take a stand for that. Now, here's where they'll be actually probably coming and taking a portion of your program because there's an active suit against the state of Arkansas. Guess who's suing us? The Satanic Temple, the people that you see. By the way, they claim that half of their membership is LGBT. Okay? They are radical leftists in the country. And not only that, you notice there was one scene. They performed a lewd act, which I won't describe everything because of your show here, but over a grave in the state of Mississippi. The leader of that group, his name is not Lucien Greaves, that's a pseudonym. His actual name is Doug Masicko. And these people are trying to normalize Satanism and atheism for the young people of this country. And unfortunately, without people speaking up about what's true and what is right and wrong, they're making some headway. So here's what is happening. The other day I was notified that I was going to be deposed on the federal court case regarding the Ten Commandments. And they told me, Jason, you're the only one that they have demanded to videotape, and they also demand the head of the Satanic Temple be at the table with you. And they want to make Hail Satan 2 is what they want to make, and they want access to that footage. And so I was called to sit under camera, the only one on camera, in a room full of people representing these plaintiffs, with a few of my attorneys as well as the Attorney General. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to break me. So instead of my official capacity, they said we want him in his personal capacity. That's so I have to lawyer up. That's so I have to spend my money, my time. And so for 7.5 hours, I had to face down the American Atheists, the American Humanists, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, the ACLU, and the Satanic Temple. And they kept me there 7.5 hours. Most of the discussion was simply trying to tear me down for what my beliefs are. And what they want to say is they want to say that we did this for religious purpose in Arkansas. No, we didn't. Act 1231 is the law and stands on its own. And what that law says that we wanted to honor the historical and moral foundation of law. When you walk in the United States Supreme Court, you walk up to the 2 front doors leading into the chamber, there's carvings of the Ten Commandments on the lower left and lower right of the door. You open up the doors, and Moses is above the head of the Chief Justice. You go outside and look at the south frieze, it's Moses holding the Ten Commandments. You go to the state capital of Texas, 10 Commandments. State capital of Arizona, 10 Commandments. State capital of Colorado, 10 Commandments. State capital of Missouri, 10 Commandments. If the 10 Commandments are good enough for the United States Supreme Court, which upheld it in 2005, it's good enough for the state of Arkansas. You bet. I end my comments today to just say thank you for having me. I know that we covered a lot of information pretty hard and heavy for an early morning show, but I just want people that are watching to know you've got to stand up in this country. In Arkansas, in the last election, only 50% of registered voters showed up to vote. And you want to know why we've had bad things passed into law at the ballot? It's because church folks have stayed at home and haven't voted. I'm looking for one season that God would bless us, that every good and decent person would get up and go vote and let their voice be heard. Folks, we could clean up this nation in one election cycle if the 90-some million Christian identified people would just go vote the values. And I want you to know this, if I never win an election again, I am never backing off of my respect for God Almighty in heaven, my respect for the Judeo-Christian history and heritage of this country, and the fact that we do know right from wrong, and it's about time politicians in this country get up and state it. Thanks for having me.
Wow. Well, it's been a thrill.
I've enjoyed being with you, and I'm looking forward to that breakfast down there.
Come on down and join us at Old Time. Scooter?
They'll have you set up. They got your table ready.
Wow. Been a long time since I had a show like this one. So, anyway, football tonight, Melbourne at
Football tonight is Melbourne at Yellville. So be broadcasted right here live on XL7 TV, or you can go to our Facebook page, XL7, or Hometown Television, or even down on the corner.
Join us for breakfast. We're heading that way now at Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Come by and meet the senator and have a happy weekend. We'll see you Monday.